Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade. Welcome to another glorious, wonderful, amazing, fresh out of the movie theater review. As always, I'm still right here in the movie theater lobby, where today I just got through watching Captain America Brave New World in IMAX 3D, and I'm going to be giving you, as always, my very vague, entirely spoiler-free thoughts. As always, you're safe here, you're all good, no worries, I got you. So on that, and funny that I mentioned that, on that note of keeping things spoiler-free and vague, I have to give myself a huge pat on the back for just so happening to be at the start of pretty much an indefinite social media cleanse. I need to take a break from all the noise because, to quote Tim Burton, it makes me depressed. And I knew instinctively that things that people would have to say about this one, especially pertaining to the complexion of our new Captain America here, would probably make me even more depressed. So I'm glad I stayed away. I'm glad I just went into this without hearing anybody's initial reactions, anybody's rants, reading anybody's angry essays. Just went into this wanting to form my own mind. The only thing I had to go off of was, a recap binge that I did leading up to, Cap 4, watched all the Captain America movies, watched the Incredible Hulk, watched the Avengers movies, watched Eternals. But I went into this just saying, I'm going to make up my own mind about how I feel about this and how I feel about Brave New World. Thoroughly enjoyed it, had a fun time watching it. And honestly, that's, to be just completely straight up, that's pretty much all I was hoping for. That's pretty much all I wanted from this film. Like a lot of other people out there, I too have been, I guess, like underwhelmed and let down by, more recent post-Endgame Marvel Cinematic Universe projects. But I'm not like straight up angry at the current state of the MCU. I'm not spiteful. I'm not ready to, grab a torch and burn something down over, post-Endgame MCU. I know, and I definitely know some people are, and some of the anger I totally get. I understand. Again, I felt it myself. I've experienced disappointment myself, but some of it, other parts of it, in my personal opinion, I don't want to get, spend a lot of this video talking about all that junk. Some of y'all need to chill out a little bit, and that's all I'll say. Let's leave it at that. And again, hence the social media cleanse. So, this really works because it does feel like a solid, natural continuation of what was established in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We now get to see Sam Wilson, front and center as the new Captain America, and how he manages to make it his own while still wanting to do just as good of a job with inspiring people as Steve Rogers did as Captain America. So, made for, kind of a nice small internal struggle, though Falcon and the Winter Soldier pretty much, fully explored that and, fleshed out that arc and that internal conflict. So that's not really as present here in Brave New World as it is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it was already established in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But there's still a bit of that, am I good enough to carry the shield? And I love seeing that. I enjoyed seeing that conflict, and I love seeing, returning faces from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love seeing Isaiah Bradley back. I liked his role in the film. I like seeing Daniel Ramirez as Joaquin Torres back. I like the camaraderie he and Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson has. I like, just their brotherhood, their kinship, I guess. And I liked the overall story in this one. I really did. I liked what they were going for. I appreciated what they were trying to do, what they were trying to set up, what they were trying to establish. Before I get into the negatives, I like the action. I like the look of this thing. It's a really good looking film. I love the fight sequences. Love seeing everything play out on a massive IMAX screen. It really does look good in IMAX. The 3D, I honestly leave it or take it. It really didn't add anything, but the IMAX was definitely the way to go in watching this thing. So, all of that was solid. However, the biggest negative for the film, leading into everything I didn't like, I can pretty much sum it all up into one complaint. It's way too short. Like I said, I liked what they were trying to go for with the overall story and setup, but that hour and 58-minute runtime definitely wasn't enough to fully utilize and develop what they were trying to do. I felt like they wanted to go for like this really big political espionage and conspiracy thriller, kind of in the same vein, of course, as Winter Soldier, but they really, or definitely Civil War, but they really didn't seem like they had the, runtime to fully realize that and execute that. And because of that, the stakes, at a certain point, the stakes here don't feel as big, because it's like we're on to the next thing, and there's definitely like the small feeling of we just got to get to the next thing so we can wrap this whole thing up and get to what you all came to see. And I'm not going to say what it is that we've all came to see. Let's just say it's over my shoulder here. And I really did feel like this film kind of almost like breaking the fourth wall, being meta. It's like, you don't want to see all this stuff. You don't want to see this investigation. You just want to see them go out. And I was like, wait, no, I do want to see the investigation. I do want to get a full scope and sense of the conspiracy that you yourselves are trying to develop and set up. Show me more. Tell me more, because you have some pretty solid villains. Of course, you see Giancarlo Esposito and all the marketing, so that's not a spoiler. And there's another guy too, and if I mention the actor who plays him, that would kind of be a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it. And yes, I'm aware that it's it's probably all out out there right now, but I'm still not going to say it. And it's like, wow, these are two very strong antagonists. These are two very interesting guys, but they're not really in this for that long. And even the main guy, who's kind of, he's the big baddie who needs to be stopped, he's the one behind everything, you don't really get to see enough of him to feel that sense of urgency, that sense of fear and dread. They try, like, even with how this guy looks, they do try and make you go like, yeah, this guy's really scary looking and very creepy looking, but still, nonetheless, I didn't really get that feeling of, urgency, that feeling of like paranoia that they wanted me to have, and that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, this was really a fun time at the movies. Like I said, I'm just not, though I've been underwhelmed by MCU properties in the past, I'm just not that MCU fan hoping that any of these upcoming movies will return this franchise to its former glories, because I kind of, for me, myself personally, I've kind of accepted that you can't fabricate the Infinity Saga. You can't fabricate that, like, everything that led up to Endgame and after, because remember, I did recently just rewatch Endgame for this movie. I don't think that can ever be redone. If I'm proven wrong, if it can be replicated or redone, more power to the MCU. But I just wasn't hoping that this would be the one. And I was right. It was just it was just a fun time. It was just an enjoyable movie. It was just a solid, fun, enjoyable watch. So wrapping it up, I'm gonna go ahead and give Captain America: Brave New World a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, if maybe the runtime was a bit longer, if they had did more with definitely the antagonists who are kind of behind this whole thing, it might have been an 8 or above, because I really did enjoy myself with this one. But as it is, that hour and 50-minute runtime definitely wasn't enough to do what they really wanted to do, and that's kind of a bummer. So 7.5 out of 10 for Brave New World. I did enjoy this a little bit more than First Avenger. I gave Captain America First Avenger a 7 out of 10. I give this a 7.5 out of 10, so I will say that I enjoyed it a little bit more, so it did a bit more for me than that First Avenger movie. But nonetheless, it could have been a lot better if they had, like, a longer runtime, if they had spent more time developing these characters, especially the villains, than they did, and really making you feel the weight and scope of how insanely scary this crazy government conspiracy is supposed to be. But they really didn't do that, which is somewhat of a bummer. But I'm not angry, I'm not disappointed, I'm not upset. I got what I wanted, which was just a fun watch at the movies, at one of my all-time favorite IMAX theaters. So this has been another edition of Wade Watches. 7.5 out of 10 for Captain America: Brave New World. Hope you guys enjoyed my spoiler-free review, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.